Hello, friends, and welcome to another video. Today, we're going to be taking you guys to spend 24 hours at Dollywood. And yes, we are going to be attempting to eat a slice of the 25-pound apple pie. Further context will be provided later. In 1986, world-famous music sensation Dolly Parton bought a stake in the Silver Dollar City amusement park in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, with the goal of bringing a world-class attraction to her hometown in the Smoky Mountains. And the park was then reopened for the 1986 season and all following as Dollywood. Now, we all know Dolly Parton for having some serious beef with a redhead named Jolene, running the best little whorehouse in Texas, and being a musical genius able to compose songs by just the beat of her acrylic nails. And I would say pretty much everyone loves Dolly Parton. If you have a problem with Dolly, you have your own problems. And I have known that Dollywood, the Dolly Parton theme park, has existed for a long time.
Dollywood.
But I've never been, and I can't say I totally know what all is supposed to be in there. And even after watching some of the Dollywood content that's out there, I still don't really know. But I do know people really like it. So in order to get to the bottom of this, we decided we had to go and check it out ourselves, and spend way more than just 9 to 5, 24 hours actually, eating, thrilling, and being merry, and attempting to unravel for any equally curious Dolly Parton fans, what is it really like at Dollywood? And yes, also, try and tackle the giant apple pie. But before we stuff our face, I do want to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of this video, Opera, the faster, safer, and smarter internet browser that will work for you 9 to 5 and anytime in between. Damn, we did just do a 9 to 5 line, didn't we? How about the grand ol' Opera-y browser? That's pretty good. Now, we are pretty big Opera fans and have been using it for quite a while at this point. I kind of consider it my little customizable productivity hub for writing, researching, and absolutely optimizing shopping online for things I probably don't need. This month's fixation, posture correcting products, and their latest update has a lot of great features that I've found really useful. To give your browser a nice personalized touch, you can super easily change your Opera browser's theme. Maybe to set a little mood lighting, like a little Aurora for some dusky script writing, or a Midsommar for some chill, cozy vibes. And to further set the mood, Opera's pop-out player allows you to listen to music, blast your lo-fi, or if you're into something more high-octane, play first-person Dollywood roller coaster videos all in one screen, so you don't need to open any additional windows or apps. I am exhilarated right now. I'm also a huge fan of their split screen feature, where you can open 2 windows in the same screen just by pulling one of your tabs downwards, so you can stay locked in one place while you're working. You can even pull up Opera's built-in AI tool, Aria, without changing screens or opening new tabs with their command line shortcut. Hey, that's fast. Almost as fast as this roller coaster. So if you want to support our channel and check out Opera, it's totally free. Just use my link in the description below to download Opera today. So with that, thanks again to Opera, and now, back to Dolly. So we made our way into the Smoky Mountains to follow our Dollywood dreams. And one thing I will say about Pigeon Forge, besides being surrounded by beautiful rolling hillside, is that it's kind of a scene up there. There's like a giant Titanic museum, a Hollywood wax museum complete with a giant King Kong at the entrance.
Oh, there is a King Kong. And a Mount Rushmore.
A Hatfield and McCoy dinner show, a Margaritaville Island Plaza. It was a lot more than I expected.
Oh my god, not Alcatraz of the East.
What does that even mean?
But our destination was Dollywood, and to get to see and eat everything that we wanted to, we needed to start our 24 hours right when the park opened at 10 a.m.
All right, so we're at Dollywood right now. They just opened the gates, so people are flooding in.
And my first impression, honestly, was that I was pretty impressed. Part of me thought that it might be like a bigger version of one of Dolly's pirate musical dinner shows or something, but it's a pretty sizable theme park, with a lot of pretty big roller coasters you can see from different areas of the park, and 11 different fully themed areas. We were currently in Show Street, the land right at the entrance of the park, which is where the bakery that sells the giant apple pie is located.
The pie we are coming back for. We're gonna come back around for the pie. We can't end our day at 9 a.m.
And instead, we're gonna head over to Jukebox Junction first to start our day off with a roller coaster.
So it's going to be exciting.
Starting the day with some
It's going to be an
adrenaline, baby.
exciting next few minutes.
Two quick things to note. One, we filmed this during the Harvest Festival.
So it won't be October when this video comes out, but it is currently October. And that is the reason for the season, okay?
Autumnal, baby.
And also, yes, I am in some Dollywood-inspired attire. This is a custom outfit I got for the occasion from Jukebox Mama on Instagram.
But yeah, I'm dressed up. I am not dolly bound, but like a little bit.
I did forgo a pair of cowboy boots since we had a full day of walking ahead of us.
But there is hat potential later on, okay? There are a few places that sell hats. So a hat could be added to the ensemble at some point.
But after passing a giant pumpkin pyramid and some legitimate giant pumpkins and also some early contenders for cowgirl hats,
Oh, I said hat potential later on, but hat potential. And this is like the first kiosk.
we crossed into Jukebox Junction. Now, Jukebox Junction is a 1950s themed area inspired by Dolly's youth during that time.
Can you see good?
Oh, damn. Wordplay.
Dolly's got puns.
And besides being generally 1950s chrome, it features a retro-themed Red's drive-in restaurant, a rockin' roadway ride, and the lightning rod coaster, sticking out of the side of the mountain.
Oh, damn. That's gonna be us.
Now, something you might not expect right away is that these Dollywood roller coasters are not messing around. Our guide told us that even the most hardcore roller coaster enthusiasts hold Dollywood in high regard.
Apparently this is one of the more intense, a thrill seeker's favorite roller coaster at Dollywood, and we're doing it first thing. So, I guess let's get on it, shall we?
We skipped the coffee. Now we're here.
Themed after 1950s hot rods, the lightning rod races both refreshingly and exhilaratingly through the fresh mountain air at 73 miles per hour and features a nice 165-foot drop. And this is definitely a more high-octane ride than you'd find at like Disneyland or Universal Studios.
Whoa.
It's more like Islands of Adventure level, if that makes sense.
You need to fix your hair.
Yeah, straight up.
I cried a little bit.
A little bit.
Well, mostly because I was trying to keep my eyes open to get the shot.
Speed tears.
Yeah.
And though Tyler's hair was certainly a casualty of the lightning rod,
Actually, the roller coaster kind of blew your hair into like a 50s shape.
Yeah.
You kind of like have a mid-century Jukebox Junction vibe.
Yeah.
it was surprisingly the perfect way to start the day.
That was pretty intense.
That was very intense.
I'm shaking, but I feel good. Actually, I would recommend we start most of our shoot days off with a roller coaster.
Yeah.
I feel like that I'm like loosened up a little bit.
Let's do a chug of coffee.
But next up, we needed some breakfast, because we still had like 23 hours left to go.
That's us. Looks great.
We're like just clenching. It looks like an ab workout.
Okay, so next up we headed over to Rivertown Junction to do a little eating. Dollywood has a lot of famous foods, and most of the other Dollywood videos I've seen have actually been about the food specifically, so I wanted to get some of those delectable Dollywood snacks into my mouth. Starting off with this giant skillet.
Does it have another name? I'm not sure. But it's a giant skillet. And I've seen it in a couple other Dollywood videos, and I was drawn to it. Almost inexplicably, but at the same time, obviously.
This thing is impressively large even in person, and apparently the skillet master Cricket has been working at Dollywood since the day it opened, so she knows what she's doing with that giant skillet.
Big skillet. Huge.
And because it is Harvest Festival time, there is a special Harvest succotash on the menu, which is packed full of fall vegetables like butternut squash, Brussels sprouts, and lightly spiced sausage, all stir-fried obviously.
Very comforting. Kind of like simple, but like needed. You know?
Yeah.
Do you need some vegetables? Yeah, I kind of do.
It is a pretty straightforward dish, and it doesn't taste super complex, but it is hearty and warm and lightly charred. A pretty good showing from the giant skillet.
These are probably my favorite part, actually, these little onions. They're almost like popping boba.
Small onions or popping boba?
You decide.
Now, just a few steps down the road from the big skillet is an iconic Dollywood snack, the kettle corn from Country Cooker's Kettle Corn, which is a must-get.
Actually, not as large of a skillet, but another large skillet.
The theme of the section is skillet.
The theme of the section is large iron pan.
And though I wouldn't say I am the biggest kettle corn fan, I was an instant fan of kettle corn master Rick.
Oh my god, the tactical gear, yes.
That is amazing.
I feel like I could use some tactical popcorn gear.
Yeah.
Right?
Though the gear is not just for intimidation factor, as apparently the kernels can pop up to 5 feet out of the kettle. So it's more of a kettle corn battle than you would expect.
Thank you so much.
Hey, bag of salt corn.
Oh, wow, thank you.
Making it rain!
Let's go! And I'm not trying to simp for Rick here, but this is potentially a notch above other kettle corn I've tried.
Honestly, to me, kettle corn makes more sense fresh.
Yeah.
It was warm, sweet, and oily, but still very light, and I could potentially taste a little bit of that kettle.
There's like a little bit of like char, you know?
Yeah. I feel like I never really put together the kettle component of the kettle corn.
You forgot about the kettle.
Yeah, I forget. I always sleep on the kettle.
It's almost as important as the corn.
But in order to avoid turning this video into 24 hours of kettle corn munching,
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're just munching right now.
Well,
You want to show me into the bag and then we can keep going?
I don't know. Keep doing a video.
we had to move on to our next stop.
Tyler did most of the damage, but we ate most of it already.
That's what it's there for.
Let's go.
After our snack intermission, we power strolled through the rest of Rivertown Junction, named for all of the water around here, I think, past a few literally 1,000-pound giant pumpkins.
Imagine sending in your 500-pound pumpkin and thinking it was going to be big enough, okay? Because it's not.
Past this recreation of Dolly's childhood Tennessee mountain home, and also past a very glitzy and glam gift shop, which it was hard not to stop and shop at.
I said I wasn't sure about cowboy boots all day at Dollywood, but these are pretty awesome.
Yeah. Wow.
Look at those.
That's a lot of shimmer.
Before we veered to the right to get to our next land on the map, the village. There is a county fair area below here, which is like a kids' carnival ride area, but we're here on this side of the park for the Dollywood Express, which is a coal-fired steam train which takes you on a 5-mile journey around the foothills of the Smoky Mountains.
A lot of my hairline in this video.
Basically around the circumference of the entire park, giving you a preview of some of the other lands and coasters to come.
Is that Jolene?
And I will say it is pretty cute and calming and authentic, as the engine does blow off cinders into the air.
I actually noticed, I took some detail shots. I do notice some cinders.
Yeah.
I think one did enter the eye, but I'm okay.
Right.
It was not a medical emergency.
Yes.
The train conductor did specifically say that cinder in the eye was not a medical emergency, and please not to pull the emergency line or else.
I was not going to pull the string under any circumstances.
But after our 20-minute ride on the Dollywood Express, despite being pretty cindered, I could still see, and I was ready to see, more of the park.
Oh, it smells incredible.
I'm smelling stuff.
Yeah.
I smell different smells from all directions. Cinnamon and barbecue sauce.
Next up on the map was Craftsman's Valley, which is the main area that features Dollywood's signature local artisans and craftsmen, both to showcase their talents and also so guests can participate in the making of a craft of their choosing. There's a glass-blowing installation, they have a blacksmith, they have a leathersmith, they have a candle-making shop.
Which I feel like seems like the natural fit for us, but we're actually doing another different wax-themed activity later. We're actually here to eat and see the birds.
Go birds.
Just to satisfy my curiosity, we did try a pumpkin-spiced rib from Miss Lillian's barbecue corner, which was nice, smoky, and tangy, but I wasn't sure if I could actually detect any pumpkin.
Imagine a pumpkin spice latte. Back out the latte. Is there any of that flavor? Carry the one.
Mostly meat, I would say.
Yeah.
I would say mostly smoked meat.
But the must-try in Craftsman's Valley is the cinnamon bread, which is a Dollywood classic made fresh daily in this fully functional grist mill,
Is it like a Roman aqueduct? Like, what's going on here?
which is an exact replica of a water-powered mill, as it would have been in the 1800s, when people in the Smoky Mountains relied on them to grind corn and wheat.
Oh, it smells incredible.
It smells so good. You can smell it.
And this cinnamon bread does smell amazing,
Oh, wow.
but once you're confronted with it head-on, it is a pretty formidable hunk of marinated bread.
Oh, and there's a pool of something at the bottom.
It looks like butter.
Could be drenched in butter.
But I can confirm the flavor is great.
Whoa, I do believe it's butter. Oh, hold on. That was very amazing, but also just butter.
Yeah.
Let me try the other side.
Yeah, dig in deeper.
It's warm, fluffy, very sweet and sugared cinnamony,
Oh, wow. The head pivot.
Unbelievable.
but I was glad that at the base, you could still taste that it was bread under there and not like cake or pastry, so there was some grounding to the whole thing.
It's like shades of the Cinnabon without the complete cream overload.
Right. No frosting, bread.
And though it is a very rich and decadent snack, that didn't stop me from going back in for a second piece.
I think I'm starting to have a pretty good time at Dollywood.
That's the line you wanted to take?
I swear it's a TikTok trend.
Oh, okay. Sam goes, let me slide in, I want to take another line. And that's what she comes back with.
Okay, what's next?
After our off-camera hands had had their fill of cinnamon bread, we ran into Miss Lillian, aka the Chicken Lady, who is one of the only roaming face characters at Dollywood.
Oh, there's chicken paparazzi everywhere today.
But unlike with somewhere like Disney or Universal, I don't think there are multiple actors who play her. I believe there is only one Miss Lillian, and she is not based on anyone from Dolly's life, but is her own very vibrant character.
Y'all, look at here. I think we need a chicken interview. Oh,
I have to be honest, I was at least one step behind on the chicken improv.
sweet girl. Let me tell you a story about Safiya.
Bok, bok, bok.
And my chicken dance did leave a bit to be desired.
Oh, she's a chicken influencer. Makes me want to go,
But I will happily accept the title of chicken influencer, although it did seem like she was one step away from giving that title to Tyler instead.
What's your beauty secret?
Fast roller coasters.
Oh, that's true. It'll fluff you up real good.
Though influenced by Miss Lillian, I did decide it was finally time to find a hat, and picked one up at the Valley Hat Shop a little bit up the pathway.
An option, right? An option.
Though there were quite the variety of hats for sale here.
Let's give Joe exotic.
Oh, exactly what I was hoping for. Oh, perfect.
I decided to go with this one with the sort of winged up brim.
This one's kind of cute.
Big time brim?
I like the exaggerated side flip.
Yeah.
I feel like in its own way it's kind of witchy, which is what put it over the edge for me, and at some point in the video, I will start wearing it for good.
I have to decide when I want to begin having full-on hat hair in this video.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. It might start now. The hat hair might start now.
Now, our next stop is technically still in Craftsman's Valley, even though we are winding our way up the right edge of the park here.
You can see the giant owl in the distance, right?
Yeah.
We're approaching the birds. The birds are coming.
Yes, next up is Dollywood's Eagle Mountain Sanctuary, which is actually home to the country's largest collection of non-releasable American bald eagles, as well as a bunch of other birds.
Look at them all sitting there.
They are bald.
Dolly is a big fan of everything Smoky Mountains, including their birds of prey. She and I have that in common because as I have the wingspan of a turkey vulture, I do feel a special connection to them.
All right, we're gonna get a meet a bird.
Yeah. You're hoping for an owl.
I don't know, we'll see.
First up on the glove was Challenger. Who is actually a famous bald eagle, a bird influencer, if you will.
He reminds me a lot of my cat, so I'm having to really control the impulse, just be like,
Oh yeah, to pet. Well, he might just pet your back, and we
Yeah.
don't want that. So.
And as a lowly chicken influencer, I was pretty in awe to be in his presence. Though at 35 years old, he is now retired.
35.
all right, both millennials.
Yeah.
We have that in common.
Over the years, he's flown in commercials, over NASCAR races, and even NFL games.
Has he been to an Eagles game?
Yes. So he was the
Go Birds.
Philadelphia Eagles mascot there for a little while.
He was the eagle.
Yeah.
He was the Eagle.
Yeah.
Tyler's probably seen him before then.
And I had been crossing my fingers all day that we might get to meet an owl, and then suddenly, Buster appeared, who was amazing and extremely tiny and an eastern screech owl.
Oh my god.
He's so cute. This one also looks like my cat.
He lost his eye after being hit by a car, but with the one eye he had remaining, he was surveying us quite intensely.
He does look like Cosmo.
How you doing?
He literally is camouflaging into the background. I'm like, where is he?
And though Buster may not be a bird influencer like Challenger, he is famous to me.
He's totally posing.
There's also some bird living quarters right behind the bird theater.
There are some more birds over here. I think this is like their house. Sadly, the turkey vulture, not in the building today, but there is another owl named Desi, and he's looking all sassy right now.
I was very happy to see Desi, though I hope he was not so disgusted with us that he involuntarily vomited.
Oh my god! Is he about to cough up a hairball or is he yawning? Oh my god, he's totally about to cough up a hairball. Hi!
Oh, he definitely just swallowed it.
Oh, he's so cat.
Now, kind of glossing over Owen's Farm to the left, which is another one of the 11 lands, we rounded the corner in the back of the park to enter our next land, Wilderness Pass.
Ooh, spooky.
I don't think it's quite yet, but at some point, the spooky lights come on.
And on the horizon appeared a very intimidating sight,
Look at that roller coaster.
That's what we're doing.
I know.
We're doing that one.
I'm excited.
the Wild Eagle roller coaster, which was technically our next stop.
He said, look at those claws.
I know. Go birds.
The Wild Eagle is America's first wing coaster, where you, the rider, are basically suspended from the end of this giant eagle's wing with your legs dangling in the air.
That's gonna be us.
It'll be fine, right? I'm not gonna re-meet that cinnamon bread, am I?
You might.
And initially, I thought that I could embody the spirit of Challenger, upgrade myself to a birdfluencer, and fly like an eagle, but the whole feet dangling thing really freaked me out, actually. And I ended up having to close my eyes for the entire ride.
That one was too scary for me.
That was fast.
I didn't like the no feet thing. I couldn't keep my eyes open. Tyler apparently did keep his eyes open.
Yes.
And pointed
Double pointed.
at the camera, maybe.
Once on the drop and once on the loop.
Okay, you're not showing them your hair enough. Tyler looks like the owl.
Yeah.
Doesn't he look like the owl?
Screeching owl.
And in addition to wrecking Tyler's hair, this ride also produced one of the most unflattering images of me of all time.
A lot of smiles being had there.
Thoroughly shaken up, we passed some lounging pumpkins and made our way to our next activity at the Handsville Wax Company.
I promised a wax activity, right?
Yes.
As the name implies, at Handsville, you basically just make a wax cast of your hand, which was enough of a sell for me.
I like the tactile element, so I chose this.
Yes.
And surveying their past work, I quite liked the Quiet Coyote and the Grope, but in the end decided to go for the classic rock and roll hands.
Don't move. 1, 2, 3.
And basically, the way the molding works is that the attendant alternates dipping your hand into the hot paraffin wax and then into the ice water.
Ooh, yeah, I felt it harden. Oh, yeah.
It feels funny.
Yeah.
To build up a layered wax mold.
Perfect.
Woo!
You can wash your hands.
Nice. Oh my god, Ty, look.
Then they dip that into your choice of colored wax to give it some flair and fill it up with paraffin pellets. And voila, you have a wax replica of your hand.
That's pretty cool.
I kind of love it, actually.
It's my hand.
Yeah. Cute.
2 right hands, wait.
Thing from the Addams Family vibes intensify.
It's my disembodied hand.
So with our hand in hand, we headed through the rest of Wilderness Pass, deep into the back part of the park.
I feel like we've officially reached this point where I would say Dollywood's pretty big,
Yeah.
right? Like, I feel like we've advanced. Like, this is a new extra area of the park, right?
Keeps going.
It does keep going.
This land in the far back here is called Wildwood Grove and is the newest land in Dollywood, having opened in 2019. It's kind of a kid-oriented family fun area, but it is very pretty back here, and weaving around the whole land is the track of the Big Bear Mountain Coaster, which is the longest ride at Dollywood with over 3,900 feet of track.
Okay, this is the roller coaster in question.
Yes.
We're doing this one.
Yes.
People are screaming, but it doesn't look as bad, honestly.
No.
There aren't a lot of drops or hills, but don't let the low altitude deceive you. It is pretty fast and exhilarating, and operates kind of like a Hot Wheels track, where there are like accelerators throughout that blast you through the nice evening mountain air. It was, however, unintimidating enough for me to finally also keep my eyes open and attempt to point at our cameraman on the ground.
Where is he? Where is he? Where is he?
However, I would be surprised if I pointed in the right direction even once.
Okay.
That one was the best.
Yeah, that was good.
Mostly fun, not very scary.
No.
Not scary farms. Only Dollywood. Wholesome fun.
Now, to complete our park loop, we headed back through Wildwood Grove and down Timber Canyon, which is sort of like the back alley that will take you back to the front of the park. There are a few coasters and a pretty big drop ride back here, but we were pretty singularly focused on seeing all the pumpkins, because this is also where the Great Pumpkin Lumin-Nights walk was. Although I think technically we were going through it backwards, I did enjoy the flock of grinning jack-o'-lanterns, the lit-up pumpkin alleyway, and the pumpkin discotheque.
Little disco?
Rave pumpkin. Rave pumpkin. I hope she plays Hot to Go.
Yeah.
It's a pumpkin rave.
And after passing the signature Dolly giant butterfly made of pumpkins, we were back where we had started at Show Street.
We have saved the Dolly paraphernalia and the pie for last.
Now, though I would say there is definitely some Dolly theming throughout the park, it's a little bit less in your face than you might think from the name Dollywood, but there is one region of the park right below Show Street that is 100% Dolly, the Dolly Parton experience.
Do you perhaps see that giant purple thing?
I do.
That's where we're going.
Yes.
That.
Yeah.
Which is an area that houses the sort of Dolly museum aspects of the park. Inside this giant purple butterfly building is an exhibit called Songteller.
That hair. Iconic.
Which takes you through Dolly's life from her childhood in Locust Ridge, Tennessee, onto Nashville, and eventually the world stage, as well as highlights her current philanthropic work.
Books, birds, butterflies, Battlestar Galactica. That's a lot of books, man.
That's a lot of books. Wow, yeah.
There's also another exhibit called Behind the Seams, which houses many iconic Dolly outfits and wigs.
I like how you can tell Dolly is short and stacked.
As well as a recreation of Dolly's tour bus as it would have been when she was traveling the country on tour. And after soaking it all in, I did feel pretty ready to head back to our hotel, but we promised everyone some pie. So we swung by the Spotlight Bakery in Show Street near the entrance, which sells the famous 25-pound apple pie, baked to perfection in a cast iron skillet. Now, we had absolutely no delusions of being able to eat 25 pounds of apple pie.
Actually, there's weight to this.
So we ordered a 3-pound slice of apple pie to go, which was still pretty insane looking in its sizable box.
Oh my god. Oh my god. What is this? Pie for giants? Actually, I feel like an American Girl doll. Like, I feel like I'm an American Girl doll. This is like a human-sized piece of cake.
And with our box o' pie under my arm, we passed through the Dollywood Emporium on our way to the exit.
It's a vest for your doggy, Parton.
And then it was out into the crisp night to hike over to the trolley stop, which would take us back to our hotel.
I am sitting above the wheel. There's no room for you here, actually.
Yeah.
You need your own thing.
I'll sit there.
Now, we were staying at the Dreammore Resort, which is one of 2 official Dollywood hotels, which I think is supposed to have sort of like a Dolly's house kind of vibe, and it's quite nice overall.
Oh, come on in.
Oh, yeah.
In the room, there are some nice themed touches. It's not too overt, but there are some butterflies, some guitars, some more butterflies.
So that's also a butterfly.
Well, yeah.
This also.
And a glamorous dressing room style vanity.
I do have to say that the lighting is super nice, like vanity lighting.
That's great.
Like, I'm in my tour bus, this is my vanity lighting. Me and my pie.
But we weren't here just to crash, as it was time to crack open our pie box and confront our destiny.
I'm trying to not tear it while also providing a view of the amount of apples in here.
That's a lot of apple.
That's so much apple.
Now, this thing is f***ing crazy, and it's almost a challenge in itself to figure out how to construct a good bite.
I gotta extract some crust and then potentially spear a few apples, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, this is my bite.
But after some investigative forking and surveying and biting,
Cinnamony.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say I actually think this pie has the right amount of apples, because if it had more crust, it would just be like a brick.
I mean, it's pretty good, actually. Actually, I'm getting some sugar. Actually, I like it.
And once Tyler cracked into it,
That's surprisingly refreshing. That's really fruit.
he seemed like he was happy to graze on it for the next couple of hours.
You know what? It's kind of like a Chicago-style pizza.
Oh, it really is.
Right?
Yeah.
And after about 14 hours and 20,000 steps at Dollywood, our doggy Partons were barking. So in terms of our 24-hour counter,
I think we're allowed to spend at least 10 of those hours sleeping.
Yeah. I'm gonna save about like an hour and a half for a bath.
So I guess to answer my question from the beginning of the video of what is Dollywood, it actually turned out to be much more of an amusement park than a Dolly-themed park. Because as Tyler's hair can attest to, there is a pretty serious arsenal of high-octane roller coasters and other rides and food and crafts. So if you are the only person in the world who doesn't like Dolly Parton, you'd probably still have a good time. I would specifically recommend the Big Bear Mountain Coaster, the Kettle Corn, especially if it's freshly popped by Rick, and the birds, specifically Buster, the Eastern Screech Owl. But as for me, it's about time to head back down the mountain.
It's 24 hours later. Came here with a dream.
and I'm leaving with a hat. Subscribe for more owl content. And I'm being serious about that this time.